Ladies and gentlemen, have I got a treat for you. If you click close on this video, you're going to be missing out on some very valuable information to help put slab crappies in your boat. It works tremendously good on postponed crappie. Now, there are a couple of things that you will have to do. One is be willing to put the time in. I know time is very limited for everybody, including myself. Me putting these videos together is such a chore that I have probably enough footage for 5 videos. Just haven't had time to put them together, edit them, and make it presentable for you guys. But we all have to make time for our things that we have to get done in life, and enjoying life is things that we have to do too. Getting out, putting them fish in the boat, guess what? You're enjoying doing that while you're out there, and then you can take those tasty morsels home, and they're great on the table. Excellent table fare. Now, I'm going to show you on 2D, of all things, how I put fish in my boat. I know a lot of times I talk about SI, I rarely talk about DI. SI is very important, but there are probably 4 times as many people that rely on DI than there are the people that have SI and know how to use it. So here we go, and a lot of you guys that fish Lake Houston, you're gonna know where I'm at. And there was a guy that I talked to, 2 guys in a boat that were passing by as I was catching a couple of fish, and I gave him some pretty good, solid information. And I wanted to make this vid for people like him that think, and I'm gonna say this, I wasn't in this guy's head, but this is the impression that he gave me, was that he didn't have the ability to do what I was telling him that I was doing. I'm getting ready to show you how easy it is. Now, I will say this, I'm using the zoom on a camera that's probably 8 foot from my fish finder. It may not be the clearest. This footage will get the point across to how simple it is to catch fish right now. It's very simple. The second thing, first thing is be willing to put time in. The second thing is find where the spawning grounds are. Very, very important. Creeks. Any bank with structure. Any bank with docks with 2 to 6 feet of water. There being just about the entire shoreline of a lake, at one time or another, the crappie are going to spawn on that bank. It just needs to have a few simple things. Root balls, any kind of structure. Those fish will spend time there and spawn there. Now, guys, it's so simple this time of year to catch fish. You really shouldn't have a problem following these, I hate to say instructions, because there's a lot of people that don't like to take instructions. But yes, these are going to be instructions. Easy instructions. Hang with me, guys. Do not close this vid. You will be missing out. Let's get started. We're in this little small creek. Pretty quick in the video, you'll see a guy out in front of my boat, and they're banking it. I mean, they're beating it up. Pow, 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 pow. Beating that bank up. Hadn't had a bite. And they probably went in the creek on my side, went all the way to the end of it, and then turned around and came back on the other side. And hadn't had a bite. If it's not working, change. Now, I catch a pretty good fish. Me and these guys, we kick it for a little bit. I'm taking it that the guy that was on the troll motor is the owner of the boat. He recognized me from my vids. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give this guy some solid information, and let's check it out. Check the video out. Let's go. I'll be back.
killing it?
Huh?
Are you killing it?
Trying. Ah! Get in there, big girl. They over 11 foot, about 8 foot down.
Really?
Yeah. Is it a crappie?
That's a good one. Are you SK?
Yep.
I'm on the forum.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of your videos and I keep up with you on the forum.
Cool. Cool. And they hitting very timid. I mean, they just barely sitting down on the jig. Hey, that's too funny right there. I just told you what to do.
I know. It don't matter.
Get over 11 foot of water, find some structure, 8 feet down.
Okay. Now, 12 feet of water. That readout is pretty easy to find on your fish finder. Now, here comes the part that I think he was intimidated by, and that was finding structure. So, the structure. Don't let that intimidate you, okay? You'll be surprised at how much structure. It don't have to be something somebody put out. Most of these lakes got rivers and creeks and all that type of stuff that feeds them. We all have floods. It don't take a bunch of structure to hold fish. In one of these, I was in 10 foot of water, and you'll see just very shallow structure. Watch that rod. Structure can be almost anything. A stick laying along the bottom. It doesn't have to be a very tall stump like one of the stumps that I have here. You'd be amazed at some of the small stuff that I pull crappie off of. Trust your unit. Trust your unit. Just out from that spawning area, and this is where that time on the water comes in. Just take your boat and weave it back and forth. Now, if you got side imaging, you can make a track down there, and 50, sometimes out to 75, 85 feet to each side. That's where that time saving process comes in, but 2D works well. Just put that time in and just weave. Another thing, guys, get you around 4 markers. Those marker buoys, they're very cheap. You almost have to have those to crappie fish, to be good at crappie fishing. Because if you find some structure, you want to be throwing that mark out there. Now, I don't use it in this little creek because I'm so close to the bank, and that's something else you may want to spend time in, is a creek. And if you see a piece of structure there, pick out a tree, pick out a whatever is on the bank, and you'll know you line up with that. Possibly look to the other side and, okay, let's line these 2 points up so far from the bank, and you can pretty much hold or know where that structure is. That's what I was doing here. But in several of my videos, if you've watched any of my other videos, especially out of the main lake, I hit that structure, pass over, I'm gonna throw that mark out there. That's that reference to get back on that spot. But in a creek, you really don't have to have that. Another good tip, guys, marker buoys. Okay, on this zoom shot, and it's like I mentioned before, it may not be very clear. And I'm going to mention this again. I don't want you paying attention to the side imaging. While I'm sitting basically still, side imaging means nothing to me. 2D, the part at the top, the part that everybody has. You can get a unit for $50. They got 2D. Okay? You ain't got to have side imaging to do what I'm trying to show you right here. Now watch that big old hump come up in that screen that's going to be red. And watch what that old rod do.
Pulling slab crappie in and scaring gators.
Yeah, I'm scared of gators.
Nice.
We ain't talking about gators here. We talking about crappie. Crappie, baby. Who cares about a gator? Give them no gator. Let's get with the crappie. Okay. Now, whether it's black and white, color, don't matter. You see that big hump come up from the bottom of the lake? Anywhere from 8 foot to 15 foot, you find stuff like that within that depth range, especially down south, Lake Houston, Conroe. I've never fished Lake Livingston, but I'm willing to bet it'll work. DFW area, yeah, you better believe it. It's gonna work. It's gonna work. Did you hear me? 8 feet to 15 feet right out from the spawning area. 2D. Find those big humps.
This about my
Within
first
that
nail that
815,
I've
you
caught on Houston.
Set the hook. If you got a Thump City crappie rod, swing that big old boy in the boat. Big old pound and a halfer's coming in. Let's do this. Thump City crappie rod, baby. Link at the bottom.
Really? Time for me to count. Y'all know what it is. Bam, bam. Double barrel. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Well,
And for those of you that think you got to sit there and bang that jig 50,000 times a minute, let me tell you something. My rods are laying on the deck. Yes, I prefer to vertical jig, giving my jig a little action. Watch which rods get hit. Watch how fast I catch on. There won't be a rod in my hand. Now, I know a lot of guys don't like what's so-called spider rigging. I call this these throwdown poles. Same as spider rigging. But you don't have to have all that fancy stuff. I don't have to have all that fancy stuff. I just lay mine on the front deck and it gets the job done. Watch how fast I put my rod down with zero action. So you want to talk about technique? Here it is. Lay the rod down. Lay it down. Don't do nothing. Lay it down. Put a crappie nibble on it.
I better get
Adjust your depth to where this is just above the structure. Structure was coming up to about
Bam.
8.5 feet beneath the surface. I had my jig right at about 8 foot. And guess what? Once it creeped, that jig just slowly creeped and that crappie got time to get a good whiff. And guess what? It came, wow, give me that. Give me that. That's mine. Now they started off hitting kind of timid. Listen to them poles. All right, let me shut up.
You gonna make 11? I don't believe so.
Watch the rest of this.
Nope, a little 10.5 incher. What kind of fight was that for a crappie? That joker's mad. Bam! Ah. Oh, god damn. Oh. $165. If that ain't a test on that Thump City, I don't know what is.
If you have not subscribed, just beneath this video, click that button for me. Okay? Make this thing happen, y'all. I'm here for you. But I need you to do that for me. Click that subscribe button. Bigger and better is coming.
That's all she wrote. That's a quarter.
Okay, guys. There are the techniques. Need anything else? Go down to the bottom in the comment section. If you got questions, or if you want to just throw me a bone and say, hey dude, you did great on this one. You could have did better. Try this next time. Any of that good stuff, hey, I'm open to it. I just want to get better, y'all. I want to make this thing work for you guys. You know, you want to put slabs in the boat? Let's do it. I'll show you how. Thanks for watching. Hang with me, guys. There's a lot more coming. There's a lot more coming for you. Back there in the back. You. Come on, bam, bam. Double barrel.